Hi everyone, my name is Becca and I'd like to welcome you to our school-wide implementation presentation discussing the concerning behaviors and our proposed intervention for Halls Elementary School. In this presentation, you will hear from Allison, myself, Carrie Ann, and Lacey. Additional group contributions were also made by Jackie and Shannon.
Let's start with a quick scenario. Imagine yourself standing in the middle of a school hallway. You're in an elementary school, and the range of children you're surrounded by is from pre-K to third grade. Some of us may draw up an image of colorful pictures, bulletin boards, or smiling faces. For others, like the teachers at Halls Elementary, it draws an image of 250 or more children at one time running through the halls, screaming, pushing each other, a picture of pure disruption. Teachers are spending more time reprimanding students and writing office disciplinary referrals than they are of teaching. And just when they think it can't get worse, over the intercom comes an all call for a lost student. But what if we could change this? My group represents a BCBA who is developing a plan to help Halls Elementary more effectively manage the hallway behaviors of their students. In addition, our plan will also focus on staff training in order to educate staff on reinforcement procedures to help with these behaviors and potentially any issues that may arise in the future. By using an interdependent group contingency called the good behavior game, we can teach these skills to the staff and effectively manage hallway behavior. So, what is the good behavior game? The good behavior game, or GBG, is a system often used in schools to manage classroom behavior. Specifically, Tannell, Johnson, McComas, and Coate stated in 2010, the good behavior game is an interdependent, group-oriented contingency in which teachers offer systematic responses to a pre-specified set of rules that result in some form of visual consequence for a team. The good behavior game has been demonstrated to be effective for students in preschool through high school, making this intervention appropriate for use with pre-K through third grade students at Halls Elementary. Additionally, there are multiple variations of the good behavior game. These include GBG reinforcement and GBG response cost. Research shows that both are equally as effective in reducing disruptive behaviors. Because of these findings, as well as the ease of implementation for the GBG reinforcement, this protocol has been chosen for Halls Elementary.
Staff training for the good behavior game followed the behavioral skills training method, which consists of instruction, modeling, role-playing, and feedback. Instruction was provided to the teachers and staff explaining the overview of the good behavior game and how to implement the intervention. Next, the intervention was then modeled out for the teachers and staff to observe. The teachers and staff were then divided into small groups to role play out the intervention with each other, playing both the roles of the interventionist and students. During role play, the teachers and staff are observed by the BCBA and given specific and constructive feedback to improve the teachers and staff's performance. 3 months into the implementation of the good behavior game, the staff and teachers are observed in real life to make sure that the treatment is being run with fidelity. Here is an example of the data collection form. Data is collected on whether the staff gave a token to students engaged in good behavior, and then if they also provided specific praise to that student. If needed, a booster session would be provided to teachers who needed it. Materials needed for the intervention of the good behavior game include a hallway rules banner, as seen as an example on the slide. Tokens, we used a small 2x2 green paper square also that you can see on the slide with a printed smiley face on it. Then those teachers were also provided with a dry eraser poster and markers that were able to use to track the students' tokens.
For implementation, number 1, teachers and staff are stationed at their assigned locations at the beginning of the day, during lunch transition, and during dismissal. Number 2, the bell will ring at appropriate times, including arrival, lunch, and dismissal, to signal the start of the good behavior game. Number 3, teachers will look for students who are following the rules outlined on the banners in each hallway and deliver the token to those students. Tokens are to be delivered with a specific statement, such as, Jimmy, great job using your walking feet in the hallway. Here's your token. Number 4, the child will take the token back to his or her classroom, and the teacher will place a check next to his or her name on the chart while delivering a small reward such as a new eraser, choice of job for the week, a homework pass, etc. Step 5, this continues throughout each transition during the day. Number 6, When each child in the class has received at least one token, the class will obtain a reward. This reward can be decided by the teachers in advance, but may include a pizza party, longer duration at recess, free playtime, extra gym time, or something similar. Step 7. Once a class has won, all checks are erased from the classrooms and the good behavior game starts over.
Implementation of the good behavior game is appropriate for the Tier 1 or universal intervention for improving hallway behavior within Halls Elementary School, as it is targeting all grades pre-K through 3rd grade. During proper training session with the district BCBA, informational handouts, materials needed for the intervention, role-playing, and feedback or modeling will be supplied. Preference assessments will be conducted prior to implementing the intervention to promote and ensure participation and cooperation from students. Implementation of the intervention will take place during transitional periods, for example, during morning arrival, transitions for lunchtime, and dismissal. Additionally, an auditory signal of the school bell will indicate the start of the intervention for all students. A visual prompt or aid consisting of a banner with hallway rules will be posted in various locations throughout the school. Each student engaging in appropriate hallway behavior will receive a token paired with verbal praise and the addition of a small reinforcing item. Larger reinforcing items will be contingent on every student in the classroom earning their individual token for displaying appropriate hallway behavior.
75% of the 500 students who attend Halls Elementary School were given an office disciplinary referral for inappropriate behaviors occurring in the hallways at the beginning of the day, at lunchtime, and at the end of the day when many classes are attempting to transition all at once. The practices that are currently in place to support the students of Halls Elementary School have thus far unfortunately been insufficient. However, many teachers and staff members have tried numerous approaches currently in place to assist managing the problem behaviors in the hallway during transition time. Staff has required all students when walking in the hallway to remain on the right side at all times. Prior to this intervention being implemented, some teachers attempted to develop their own set of rules regarding hallway behavior. For example, some teachers have required students to walk with their hands folded or in their pockets anytime they're walking in the hallway. Other teachers have attempted to require their students to walk in a single file line, while others require their students to walk in 2 separate lines, a girls' line and a boys' line. Based on the intervention you've heard thus far, our group would be of great service for Halls Elementary.
Final steps. First and foremost, remember to always follow the steps as they are outlined. Use positive statements when discussing the rules. For example, tell students what to do, such as walk please, rather than what not to do, such as no running. Use behavior-specific language when delivering tokens. Remember, rather than just saying good job, say thank you for walking. Analyze rewards frequently. This can be done by having class votes or polls to determine what reinforcers students will work for. Follow-up training is essential. This should be done bi-monthly or quarterly at a minimum. Monitor for success often and rotate stations as needed.
Information on the references that we used.